One of the most underrated fights in the 4th Great Shinobi War is Kakashi's rematch with Zabuza and Haku, the two main antagonists he and Team 7 encounter in the Land of Waves. I love this fight because it reflects on the origins of the story of Naruto and the way its early themes and characters have developed after so many years and so many chapters. In the world of Naruto, shinobi representing the various hidden villages face off against one another in a clash of wills and ideology, but shinobi don't start out that way. Nearly every shinobi begins their journey with much simpler, linear goals. For Naruto, it was becoming Hokage, for Sasuke, defeating Itachi, and for Sakura, well, the point is that getting into the world of shinobi without fully understanding what it really entails. During his rematch with Zabuza and Haku, Kakashi remarks that he was glad that they were Naruto's first adversaries, and I agree. These two antagonists are exactly what a main character's first antagonist should be, memorable and meaningful. Zabuza and Haku are incredibly important to the story of Naruto, responsible for introducing the audience to the story and setting up the major themes and conflicts, as well as significantly influencing the development of the main character. Zabuza and Haku aren't just a couple of great antagonists, they're everything that I love about Naruto itself. From the jump, Naruto doesn't really understand what it means to be a shinobi. He doesn't take his schoolwork seriously, he treats lectures from Iruka and the third Hokage like their background noise, and he's largely a rambunctious brat who will mouth off about his goals to pretty much anybody who's in earshot. That's why Team 7 ended up going to the Land of Waves in the first place, because Naruto insisted that he had to take on a higher level mission in order to prove himself. But it's immediately clear that Naruto isn't at all prepared for this and doesn't have the right mindset. The first thing he does when he meets Tazuna, the old bridge builder that he's supposed to protect, is to of course start talking about his dream to become Hokage, and pick a fight when Tazuna predictably doesn't take him seriously. And why should he listen to this loud little kid who he just met? What happens immediately after this only vindicates Tazuna, as Naruto completely freezes up against the Demon Brothers, has to be saved by Sasuke and Kakashi, and ends up jeopardizing the mission by getting poisoned. Up until now, Naruto was playing around too much, and relying too much on his words, but little by little, he's learning that it isn't easy to achieve his dreams. Naruto's choice to cut open his own hand and clean his wound, allowing the mission to continue, is one of his first major steps as a shinobi, demonstrating real resolve to be a ninja, and his determination to never be caught unprepared again. This leads wonderfully into the first confrontation with Zabuza, where Naruto really goes through the ninja school of hard knocks. Naruto is amped from his earlier failure and ready to pounce on Zabuza, only to quickly learn that Zabuza is in a completely different league than the Demon Brothers. And Zabuza plays his part perfectly, showing how terrifying an experienced shinobi can be and pitting the ideology of his village directly against that of Konoha. Zabuza is from the village hidden in the mist, which was also known as the Bloody Mist because of the savage cruelty that took place in their village. The ultimate example of that is Zabuza, who became a ninja by slaughtering all of his classmates during their graduation ritual, a feat so disturbing that he even forced the Bloody Mist itself to change its policies. To Zabuza, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke are just playing ninja. They haven't killed, and they have no knowledge of the endless cruelties or harsh realities of the ninja world. Zabuza rejects Naruto as a ninja, and takes his headband from him, with no one realistically expecting Naruto to do anything about it. But Naruto isn't the story of a young boy accepting the cynicisms of the world he encounters. It's the story of him challenging and overcoming that world. Zabuza represents those scary, unknown threats that Naruto will come up against, like Orochimaru. And this time, Naruto doesn't balk. Not even close, charging straight at Zabuza to get his headband back. That headband means everything to him. It's proof that he's a shinobi, and representative of his relationship with Iruka, who validated his existence. Naruto isn't playing around. He's serious about being a shinobi. It's a life and death matter to him, same as Zabuza. Naruto proves that by cooking up a plan to save Kakashi and basically all of their lives, overcoming the barrier between the so-called shinobi of the world and himself. Tazuna and Zabuza are connected, both examples of the idea that the world at this point views Naruto as unserious. They're both older and a bit cynical, and they set the stage for Naruto to grow and improve towards becoming his idealized self. After facing these two older doubters, Naruto meets a few interesting younger characters as well. First is Inari, who he immediately has a falling out with, just like Tazuna, for similar reasons. Inari resents Naruto's optimism and goals because losing his own father figure to Gato made him quit believing in heroes. Naruto shows off just how much he's grown in so little time, deciding to prove to Inari that heroes still exist, rather than just tell him. And it is in the midst of this training that he encounters Haku, who is intimately important to these ideas. I first talked about Haku in my video on Naruto's fight with Gaara, discussing how Haku taught Naruto maybe his most important lesson, the power of fighting for someone precious. This is something that Inari didn't understand from observing his father, but it's something that Naruto already intimately understood, fighting to save Iruka from Mizuki and Team 7 from Zabuza. But up until now, it isn't something that he had fully put into words. And when you think of who Naruto is fundamentally as a character, what I love most about him is his very attitude. The power of friendship and fighting to protect are character traits that almost all shonen main characters embody, but the way Naruto explores this idea was always the most profound to me, and that's because of one aspect that I think Kishimoto understood better than anyone else: gratitude. The reason that Naruto became a shinobi and wanted to become Hokage is because he was always alone. No one loved or cared about him. In fact, he was actively hated and treated like dirt because he held the nine-tailed fox, whom everyone feared and despised. Naruto came to see the title of Hokage as a fast track to being accepted, and that became the basis for his dreams. When Naruto fought Gaara, he looked into the depths of his soul and understood that Gaara was just a version of himself that never had Iruka or Team 7. Without the people he was lucky enough to have around him, he'd be just as lost. It's not just because of who Naruto is, it's because those precious people around him were able and willing to recognize him. And because Naruto understands that, he has this palpable sense of gratitude. He's deeply thankful for those who saved him, and because they saved him, he will save them. Because he knows that he couldn't live without them. And he's right. It's true. And that truth gives his emotions incredible power every time he reflects on his life. That appreciation of his circumstances, despite all the pain he went through, his refusal to give up, and instead determination to protect what he has been blessed with, is exactly what sets Naruto apart from me and a sea of similar characters. So when Haku starts talking about protecting what's precious to you, and Naruto smiles with understanding, it's one of the most important and heartwarming moments of the series to me. And just as Naruto understands this from the beginning, meeting Naruto helps Inari understand this too. He comes to see that his father was a hero for fighting to protect him in the town where he lived, even if it cost him his life. The heroism of a person that lives their life dedicated to a worthy cause is the exact lesson that inspires Inari to rise up and change the people around him. The shinobi ethic that Naruto will begin to embody, and the theme that Haku was responsible for helping Naruto fully understand. Zabuza and Haku also perfectly demonstrate a sort of angel and devil dynamic. Zabuza, the demon of the hidden mist, is one of the most outwardly evil antagonists we see in Naruto, and Haku one of the nicest. There are a wide variety of shinobi that Naruto will need to confront in this world, just like his predecessor Jiraiya did during his journeys. However, the point of this dichotomy isn't to say something as simple as there being good and bad shinobi. They exist to show that all shinobi are actually the same. The virtuous Haku, the vicious Zabuza, and even Naruto himself are all the same as each other. Kakashi once told Team 7 that as shinobi, we must read the hidden meanings within the hidden meanings. Shinobi hide the truth in everything they do. Haku made it clear to Naruto and Sasuke that he didn't want to kill them, but because his life's goal was to defend Zabuza and do his bidding, he had to kill them. Shinobi, in his eyes, were individuals who clashed their ideals against one another, with the understanding that someone's dreams might be crushed. And to do that, Haku bought into the meaning behind the word shinobi, one who cuts away their heart with their blade, a tool who completes their mission while concealing their emotions. Haku's master is Zabuza, and Naruto's Konoha, something that Sakura adds to by quoting the part of the shinobi code that commands ninja to focus only on the mission, and bans them from displaying any emotion. This also deeply relates to Kakashi, who held the same beliefs as Zabuza long before this viewpoint resulted in the death of Obito. But here, Kakashi has moved past that version of himself, and made sure that his students know that he treats them like family, not tools. Zabuza, on the other hand, treats all of his subordinates, Haku included, as tools towards his goal of leading a revolution in the Hidden Mist Village, because that's what shinobi are to him, tools who shut away their personal feelings and follow orders. But neither Zabuza or Haku are able to fully commit to that existence. For all of his talk, Haku could not kill Naruto or Sasuke. He purposely put Sasuke in a death-like trance because he could not overcome how much he had come to like them. He disobeyed Zabuza, an act he thought made him worthless trash in Zabuza's eyes. He then sacrificed himself to save Zabuza and fulfill his role one last time, taking Kakashi's lightning blade directly through the heart and dying instantly. At this point, the facade that Zabuza put up, playing it being the demon, ironically fell apart. Haku made one last play to help Zabuza, clutch into Kakashi's arm in death. But Zabuza failed to take advantage of Haku's sacrifice and kill Kakashi because he hesitated to cut through Haku's lifeless body to get to Kakashi. Haku died, believing that Zabuza only saw him as a tool, but Zabuza truly did care, so much that he didn't even want to harm Haku's corpse. Zabuza then gets destroyed by Kakashi, and it's clear why. In Naruto, a shinobi with an unbalanced mind and spirit will always lose. Haku meant so much to Zabuza that after losing him, Zabuza was completely unable to fight anymore. The demon Zabuza was quite human himself, which even Haku is surprised to learn about when Kakashi spills the beans during the war arc fight. The ending of the arc synthesizes all of these ideas. Tazuna and Zabuza, both older and more cynical, come around to Naruto and recognize that he's a shinobi worth remembering, while Haku succeeds in inspiring Naruto, who in turn inspires Inari, and whose actions eventually help save Team 7. And when Haku finally dies, it begins to snow, evidence of his good nature, and Zabuza says he wished he could go to the same place as Haku, despite knowing that he couldn't. But Kakashi disagrees, stating that he could go with Haku, which for a long time was something I didn't understand. I always saw Zabuza as the monster he claimed to be, the man who murdered without remorse. How could he be the same as Haku after everything he did? But at some point I realized that despite his nature, Haku had also killed untold numbers of people for Zabuza's sake. And more importantly, I came to understand that Zabuza wasn't intrinsically evil. During his rematch with Team 7, Zabuza commented that shinobi were shaped by the village they grew up in. He claims that Konoha's soft environment created imitation shinobi. But if that statement was true for Naruto, then it should be true for Zabuza as well. He grew up in the village of the Bloody Mist, and it turned him into a monster, the same way growing up as Tsunagakure turned Gaara into a monster as well. Hidden villages use shinobi, change them, and eventually destroy them. Just like Haku was a tool for Zabuza, Zabuza was a tool for the Bloody Mist. The two share more similarities than one immediately recognizes. Zabuza's actions to avenge Haku don't show that he was pure by any means, but they do show that he, just like Haku, was simply human, containing the potential of both good and evil. And going forward, Naruto's path is one to discover the humanity that is in many of his antagonists. It's why he can see through Gaara and recognize the human soul in Obito. It's also why he never gave up on Sasuke. Because he's able to recognize the impact that the shinobi system has on ninja, including Zabuza, Naruto is able to find a path to confront all of those villains. Zabuza was integral to teaching Naruto and those of us reading the story that in this world, no one is truly evil, that you have to look into the hidden meanings concealed by their actions and assess who they are and why they do what they do. This is also the origins of the famed Talk no Jutsu, and the principal example of what people continuously misunderstand about what it actually is. I am beyond tired of people posting Kid Buu and 5 other random anime villains and asking which one Naruto could convince. Of people acting like Naruto is this moral angel who reaches out to terrible people because he's unrealistically nice. The conversations that Naruto has with his antagonists are always organically centered on his interest in his villains and their interest in him, alongside his own understanding of both them and himself. It's also something that he grows into, not something that he is from the very beginning. When Haku presumably kills Sasuke, Naruto doesn't have a chat with him. He begins to beat him like a drum. And when Haku tells Naruto to finish him off now that he's failed, Naruto hesitates, but accepts Haku's wish because he doesn't have any means of convincing him otherwise. It's only after Haku is dead, and Zabuza acts like he doesn't care, that Naruto starts talking. Naruto liked Haku, just like Haku liked Naruto. And because of that, he couldn't handle seeing Zabuza, the person Haku dedicated himself to, treat him like he was nothing. He was cursing his own goals in life, starting to believe that powerful shinobi lost their humanity. Naruto wasn't trying to convince Zabuza to change or anything. He was simply expressing his own personal emotions and questioning Zabuza on what being a shinobi meant for his own sake, because these are concepts that Naruto never really had to consider before. He had never really thought that deeply about the world of shinobi, but Zabuza and Haku forced him out of his shallow mindset and made him grow up. Zabuza and Haku's stories are tragic. Perhaps if they could have escaped the trappings of the shinobi code and truly connected while they were still alive, they would not have ended up on a path that ultimately led to their destruction. We see how this easily could have been the case in Zabuza's last stand. Absent the mission, which Gato abruptly cancels, he had no reason to fight Team 7. The fight to the death they recently had suddenly losing all meaning. Because when the mission is out of the way, it's almost comical how easily shinobi can come together, because they can understand each other's emotions and each other's experiences. Seeing Zabuza and Haku's actions leads to Naruto's ultimate conclusion, where he rejects the nature of shinobi as tools and decides to forge his own ninja path. The young shinobi is finally awake, and this ending, more than anything, creates the Naruto that we know and love. It creates the Naruto that really will begin to change his foes, because he saw that they were worth saving because of what Zabuza and Haku demonstrated for him. And it starts Naruto down the path of becoming someone who will pursue world peace, because he saw that he never truly had any enemies to begin with. That's why Kakashi praises Zabuza and Haku so much, and is glad Naruto faced them first. They showed young Naruto the wide breadth of people who will become shinobi, how shinobi live, how they die, and the truth behind the actions and nature of all shinobi. They helped him hone his ideology for the first time, and establish just what kind of shinobi he wanted to be, a path he would never abandon. Kakashi, as one who overcame shinobi law only after it was too late, was furious that the will of these proud shinobi was trampled on by Kabuto and the Edo Tensei, which turned Zabuza and Haku into actual tools. Taking Haku's beautiful sacrifice for Zabuza and turning it into something that he was forced to do, making Zabuza cut through Haku's body like it was an inanimate object. These were actions that were deeply disrespectful to the lives that they lived and unforgivable to true shinobi. Zabuza and Haku were a shinobi worthy of respect. They embodied some of the central ideas in Naruto, and they are a large part of why I consider the Land of Waves to be the best opening arc in any battle shonen I've ever read. Any good beginning should hook new readers into the story and set up what that story is all about, basically serving as a microcosm of what the author is trying to convey. In that, the immense badassery of Zabuza and Haku, alongside their compelling relationship and deep thematic meaning, make them the perfect antagonists to set up the story of Naruto. Even today, I still love this duo, even if they have been surpassed in my eyes by future antagonists like Gaara, Pain, and Obito. These villains are great on their own, but Zabuza and Haku's presence prepared me for the ideas that those villains would express. Without Haku's lessons on protecting others, Naruto's bond with Gaara wouldn't excite me the way it does. Without Zabuza showing us the true nature of shinobi, I wouldn't understand how Nagato or Obito could be redeemed. And without them shaping Naruto in his ninja way, I think Naruto indeed would come off preachy instead of empathetic and curious. The impact that Zabuza and Haku have on the Naruto fandom to this day, in comparison to opening antagonists in other manga I've read, is really unlike anything I've ever seen. I think it's proof that Kishimoto hit the bullseye. In creating Zabuza and Haku, he began a long streak of creating charismatic and impactful antagonists that serve as the backbone to the exploration of his main character and the development of his core themes. Yeah, Orochimaru is scarier, Gaara perhaps a better overall character than either of them, Pain more influential, Madara more hype, and Sasuke more important to the plot of Naruto. But I don't care. I simply love Zabuza and Haku.